So in the previous video, I showed you a very basic way to do a normal notch. We edited this tube, and while we were editing just this part, we used this line or tube to extrude cut down it so that we can notch the tube onto it. So let's go ahead and do another notch here. This is a scenario where we have an end-to-end point, and if I notch this tube, let's say the bent tube, what's going to happen is it's going to be plenty long enough for this tube, but then this tube's only going to go halfway down. So what we've got to do here is let's edit just this tube. It's going to turn blue, so T1 is blue. That means we're editing that one. I can hit sketch. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a plane. Alright. Create a sketch on that plane. And I can convert these entities. I could have just clicked on this surface at the end of the tube to show you guys you can just use it as a plane, but I just want to show you can do it with a plane as well. So I'm going to go ahead and extend this out. Let's extrude it. And let's say we want to leave enough room there for a weld, so let's call this 1.125. Okay, that looks good. And a merging result. It's not going to merge this top one because we're just editing this tube. The only thing it's going to merge to is what's in that part itself. Okay, so there we go. And then when I go and edit this tube, it is so important that if I'm editing the tube that I'm working on, I can use the body itself. But if I'm editing a tube and extruding something off of another tube in the assembly, I cannot just click the surface because this surface is later going to change. So the best way to do this is to do a plane, hit the point, hit the line, and then draw what we're going to do in there. Like I said, super important, do not use these edges. The edges will get forgotten and you'll see it in the future. So I'm going to go ahead and type in here 1.75. And because I'm editing T3, I'm going to extrude cut through on both ways, and it's just going to cut T3. So there's our perfectly notched part. And go ahead and hide that sketch now, we don't need it, now that everything is completed with it. Alright, so we've got the bend tube coming down and hitting this notch. We've got this straight section going and this tube hitting it, which is essentially like the same thing down here, except it was already going past it, so we didn't have to extend one of the tubes. And then this one, we're going to do a miter. Now, it doesn't have to be a perfect 90. It doesn't matter what angle it is, but I'm going to show you the easy way to do it. So I'm going to go ahead and hide these, the master sketch profiles in there since we're already done extruding. And I'm just going to go ahead and get out of this, and I'm going to go and let's go ahead and fix T1 first. So let's edit this part. Let's create a sketch. Let's do a 3D sketch, and let's draw a line from there to here, okay? And then from this point to here where it gets in the middle. So this is actually, this is actually midpoint of this line, and then we're going to make this line perpendicular. So now we have where you can kind of see it's falling where these two tubes mesh. It's just a really good way to get the center of it because it doesn't matter what angle it is, as long as this line is perpendicular to it, you're going to get that perfect miter seam between the two tubes. So I'm going to go ahead and exit that. I'm going to create a new plane, click the vertex, click the line, and now you can almost see what's going to happen. I can now see where that miter is going to occur. So let's drop that plane in there. Okay, and the one thing is that if I go ahead and cut it right now, if I cut this tube on this side, I'm going to end up with this missing. So what I want to do to make it easy is let's go ahead and extend both of these tubes so they go past each other, and then we'll cut them. So I'm working on T1 right now, so let me go ahead and sketch on the end of this tube. And I can click this end face because I am working on the tube itself. I'm editing T1. I can use itself for reference. It's part of the tree. Just going to click the outside and the inside, convert entities, and let's just make it, yeah, sure, that's fine. Okay, so that's longer. And then let's go up here and edit tube 2. And we can click on the end and convert entities. And yeah, let's extend it. Yeah, that's fine. So they just go past each other. Cool. So now what we're gonna do is let's go ahead and, just so we stay in order, let's go to T1 and let's say like, okay, we've got this plane we made. Let's sketch on this plane. And what I could do is just draw a circle that's bigger than the area. This is just like there to make it so I make sure I can cut everything on the one side of the plane. Okay, so I'm editing T1. I essentially want what you could see right here, this section to disappear on T1. So extrude cut. I don't want it to go both ways, so let's go blind, uncheck that. We can do through all. And then now that's going to disappear. So this tube actually looks like this now. Awesome. And now we want to go into T2 and edit that one. We can still use the plane from T1, or we can make another plane. I'm just making that mate to the vertex just so it's clean and doesn't move around if we make changes on the main sketch at any point. Let's cut this, and then boom. Now we have a beautiful miter. Let's go ahead and hide this. This is just our construction lines. All right, so now you can see we have a structure. This is notched. We got our miters here. We extended each tube longer than where the miter went to. We put a plane in it that was perfectly down the center, and we cut on each part number that we worked on to get this miter to come in. On this one, we extended it, and then we cut this one through. So now what we're going to do is let's go ahead and get this closed up and saved. And on the next video, we're going to normalize these tubes. And what normalizing is going to do is make it so that it cuts just like a tube laser.